the horrible death after the first snowboard descent. Marco Siffredi was a French snowboarder who'd become known for his daring feats in extreme sports. In 2002, he set out to achieve the unprecedented feat of snowboarding down Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world. Siffredi's preparations for the expedition were extensive, including months of studying the terrain and weather patterns, and training physically and mentally. Despite the dangers involved, Siffredi was determined to succeed and make history as the first person to snowboard down the peak of Everest. Marco Siffredi was a renowned and skilled snowboarder who had a passion for extreme sports. He had accomplished some of the most dangerous and challenging descents in the world, which had earned him a reputation as one of the most daring and skilled snowboarders globally. Siffredi had scaled mountains in Europe, South America, and North America, and he had snowboarded in some of the most remote and treacherous places on Earth. His most notable achievement before his Everest attempt was his successful descent of the Couloir Wimper on the north face of the Aiguille Verte in the French Alps, a feat that had only been completed by a few skiers and snowboarders. Despite the risks involved in extreme sports, Siffredi remained determined to push himself to new heights, inspiring others to take up snowboarding. His fearless attitude and willingness to take risks had made him a legend in the snowboarding community, earning him the admiration of his peers and fans worldwide. In the fall of 2002, Siffredi began preparing for his attempt on Everest. He'd spent months training in the Alps, honing his skills and building up his endurance. He'd also spent a lot of time studying the mountain and its terrain. He knew that the descent would be incredibly dangerous, but he was very confident that he could handle it. On September 19, 2002, Siffredi set out for Nepal with a team of experienced climbers. They arrived at base camp on the south side of Everest and began their ascent. Siffredi's plan was to climb to the summit, then snowboard down the northeast ridge. The climb was grueling and dangerous, but Siffredi and his team were experienced and well prepared. They made it to the summit September 23rd. Siffredi prepared to make his descent. He strapped on his snowboard and began to make his way down the ridge. The first part of the descent was relatively easy. Siffredi made his way down the slope, carving turns in the fresh snow. But as he got further down the ridge, the terrain became more treacherous. The snow was hard and icy, and there were large crevices to navigate around. Siffredi continued down the ridge, but the conditions were getting worse. The wind had picked up too, and the snow was blowing in his face, making it difficult for him to see. He was forced to stop several times to clear snow from his goggles. As Siffredi neared the bottom of the ridge, he encountered a particularly difficult section. The slope was steep and icy, and there were large rocks jutting out of the snow. Siffredi attempted to navigate the rocks, but he lost his balance and fell. The fall was catastrophic. Siffredi tumbled down the slope, hitting rocks and ice along the way. His board became detached from his feet, and he was unable to stop himself. He fell over 2,000 feet until he died. Siffredi's death was a big shock to the snowboarding community. He was a beloved figure known for his passion and dedication to the sport. He was also known for his willingness to take risks, and his death served as a stark reminder to the dangers of extreme sports. Today, Siffredi's legacy lives on. He inspired a generation of snowboarders to push the limits of what was possible. His name still synonymous with extreme snowboarding. His tragic death also serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that even the most skilled and experienced athletes can fall victim to the dangers of a mountain. Marco Siffredi's attempt to be the first person to snowboard down the peak of Mount Everest was a daring and ambitious feat. Despite his experience and expertise, Siffredi tragically lost his life while attempting this dangerous descent. His legacy as an extreme sports pioneer continues to inspire snowboarders and athletes around the world, but his death serves as a reminder of the risks and the dangers that come with pushing the limits of human endurance. We'd love to read your comments about your thoughts about Marco Siffredi's attempt to snowboard down Mount Everest. And if you like this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and make sure to press the bell icon so you will be the first to get the very latest from us.